Recording in progress.
So funny.
I'm turning it on. Here we go. Uh-oh. Here we go.
We call the Johnnie Walker Beach Subcommittee meeting to order on Thursday, February 20th at 5:00 p.m. And we do have a quorum. We have excused Reverend Dr. McCafferty, and we do have two people online, one of them subcommittee member Cynthia Johnson, and then we have a volunteer, looks like Mr. Daryl Daisy. So, beginning with our announcements, we have several. It is Black History Month, so we are very happy to be able to celebrate Black History Month. As we know, Black history cannot be contained in 1 month. Black history is 365 days of the year, but we honor those who have gone before us historically and those who are coming after us. We have other announcements, one of which is the Black Voices circular that comes out from Southern Delaware Alliance from Racial Justice puts out, and we have commissioners featured. Reverend Dr. McCafferty wrote an article in the Black Voices circular. We have Daryl Daisy, who also contributed to Black Voices, and then we also have featured our chair of the African American Heritage Commission, Reverend George Edwards Sr. as well. So we're hoping that you have an opportunity to pick that up. You can go online to look at that at Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice, SDARJ, if I said that in the right order, .org. And you can also view it online. Along with that, we have the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice is also sponsoring the African American Film Festival, which is beginning tomorrow, the 21st through the 23rd. That's Friday through Sunday. And that is, I believe, most of the films are going to be featured at the Rehoboth Cinema. Yeah, Rehoboth Cinema. And that is near the Wawa off of Route 1. And there is also the MLK Musical Celebration, also sponsored by Southern Delaware Alliance, on the 28th, and that's at Epworth Church. We also have, we've also had Mr. Daryl Daisy participate in the Lewes Historical Society's speaker series to once again discuss family and family history, which I happened to have attended, and it was wonderful, and I learned even more about the Daisy family legacy. And we also have another event, Trinity Faith Christian Center, on the 23rd at 1 o'clock off of New Road. They will be having a Black History program where the Reverend John Moore will be speaking, and he also does a great impersonation of Dr. Martin Luther King, if you ever heard him. He also participates at the Juneteenth programs as well.
Trina, what time is that?
At 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is the meal. We're going to have an old-fashioned meal, and I'm making beans. Neck bones and beans. And there's going to be a whole lot of food, and then there's also going to be a skit and speaker, and Miss Christy Taylor will also be in her ensemble will be playing musically as well. 1 o'clock is the meal, and I think the event starts immediately after that. And if there's any other announcements? Oh, there is an announcement. The Lewes African American Heritage Commission will also be having a panel series to discuss the integration of Lewes schools for Black History Month as well at the Lewes Elementary School on Saturday, the 22nd, from 11 until 1, and there's also free lunch involved. So, anything else? All right. So we also have the minutes. We're moving on to C1, the minutes from January 16th. Hopefully you have received those and had an opportunity to review those. And if there's any updates or corrections, I guess we can take those now. If not, we'd be happy to take a motion to approve.
So move.
Speaker.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
So the minutes have been, all in favor, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. And our next item on the agenda is D1, and we're at old business. And it is the Delaware 250 grant opportunity. If there's any updates on that?
The grant has been submitted. It was due on February 17th, but it was submitted on Thursday, the 13th. They did email me that they have received our application and they will be in touch. I'm not sure how, I don't think Delaware 250 is affected by the grant freezes, so,
I don't think so.
okay. But yeah, it's been submitted and they have received it, and then they will let us know in March.
Right, I was going to ask the date there of
Yeah,
notification.
it's a month ahead, it's a month out.
Okay. Wonderful. Is there anything anyone needs to address on that, or any comments?
This is Cynthia. I just want to thank you so much for your work.
Absolutely.
It's been a long process, but we crossed the finish line, so thank everyone who was involved.
I know Miss Julia has her hands full when it comes to grants and grant writing, and along with all her other duties.
Thank you. Much
So
appreciated.
we are very much appreciative of all your talents.
Thank you very much.
I will also add that because Julie has been so busy and burning the candles at both ends, that, you know, and it's not no secret, in our proposed budget coming up, there'll be potentially a new employee in Julia's department to help her with the multiple responsibilities that she has.
Excellent, excellent.
yeah.
Well, thank you for everything, because I think we all benefit from it, especially the things that we can keep as grants rather than costs.
Right, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to D2, discussion and possible action on the February 27th workshop review of the city's existing committees / subcommittees, including the charge of each body, their role in policymaking, and opportunities for community participation. So I know that it was announced that the city mayor and city council workshop was looking at all the committees and subcommittees and reviewing that. And I know that because initially the timing did not allow enough time
It was
for
too
people
quick, yeah.
to get things together.
Yep.
Now it's going to be on the 27th.
I'm not 100% sure of that, actually. That may, I'll need to go check. I reviewed the draft agenda on Tuesday, and it was not on there. And when I mean not just the African American Heritage Commission, but all the commissions. And I think I may step out for a second and just double check that, because I don't think I think it's been pushed to March.
Okay. I know when I looked at the
Let me go check.
link online, nothing was available to
Right, 'cause it
press
hasn't
at
been
this
posted
point.
yet.
Yeah.
I'm not here that day, so Khalil, you may need to represent if it is on there.
Because it had to be published today.
Right. And I think Cynthia was going to participate in that if she could at that time, previously, Cynthia and Daryl, but I don't know, Cynthia, at this point, exactly when it's going to be. So
Yeah,
Khalil just went to
I'm
look.
on travel starting tomorrow and all of next week. So I'll be back on the 1st
Right.
of March.
And I do know that I think Reverend McCafferty said she had availability as well. So if it's not
I'm
until,
pulling up
and
the-
if it's not until March, then we might, and when, are you for the whole month of March, Cynthia?
I am back on the 1st of March. So anything in the month of March, I'm here
Great.
and beyond.
It looks like
Except
it
for
is
the
on the
7th,
agenda.
that's my birthday. I'm not doing anything on my birthday.
So it's on the 20th?
It's on the agenda for the 27th.
Okay.
The two commissions are Lewes African American Heritage and Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee.
So the 27th, you're not available, Cynthia?
The 27th of February, I
Right.
will not be here. The 27th of March, yes.
Daryl, I know you're online. Do you have any availability as well?
And
Or none?
I don't know. I don't know that, I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily that interested in it.
Okay,
But-
gotcha.
I
All right, no
think,
problem.
I think even at the last meeting, I think the subcommittee clearly made its point. So it wasn't a big target date for me, but if I'm around, available, I'll certainly try to make it.
Can I jump in real quickly and add that I just confirmed, in fact, next Thursday, two commissions, the Bike and Ped Committee, as well as the Lewes African American Heritage Commission will be presenting.
And what time is that?
10 o'clock it starts. I think it's the last item on the agenda. No,
it's C6, so
So-
there's a few presentations and updates ahead of.
yeah, I would say if you got there at 10:45.
I'm not 100% sure either because I work during the day.
Okay, I mean, or whoever, I mean, whether it's Julia and I, but,
I'm not here. I'm at a seminar for Denmark.
okay.
Thursday and Friday next week.
Well, we should all talk about who's
Yeah,
going to
we
do
can
it.
talk, yep.
Okay. Or we could move it to March, too. So, anyhow,
We can discuss, yeah, we can talk, right? Okay,
okay.
If that's a possibility, we might need to consider.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Volunteer, we're on E, volunteer research and oral history updates and possible action. Did I don't think I have anything for the Johnnie Walker Beach. Ms. Kay, do you have any update for volunteer research and oral
I
history?
do. I've started in anticipation of us getting the grant from Delaware 250, and then we'll need to figure out what to put on the sign. I've been following City Solicitor Alex Burns' idea of gathering all the information about Mr. Walker that's in the public domain. And so I've started collecting everything that I can, that I have for him, documents, all of that. So I've got a pretty good stack. One thing I did on Ancestry, I have discovered that there is someone who has Mr. Walker on his tree, on their tree. So I contacted them. I mean, they don't have to answer, but I just was like, this is why I'm researching him. If this is the Mr. Walker, I believe it is, would you be willing to share some of your data? So I hope. We'll see. It is getting easier as more information has come into Ancestry to be able to find out which one, because there are a large number of John Walkers, and I have to say, I still don't know what the H stands for.
Henry.
Is it Henry? Because I can't find that on any of the documents.
I remember Miss Maddie,
Miss Maddie knew?
yeah, informed me that
Excellent.
his middle name was Henry.
Excellent, because I haven't been able to find it
John
anywhere.
Henry.
Good.
John Henry Walker.
Well, that will really help me. If this person is correct, then his father was also John Henry Walker, and his mother's name was Maddie Trawick, but I don't know if that's right.
So I believe, because I believe Miss Maddie told me that she was named,
For her grandmother?
yeah.
Well, when I saw Maddie, I was like, I think I'm on the right track, because that's there. So I thought, yes. So I'll keep after this weekend. I'll go on, the person's name is Chelsea Jackson. The Jackson family tree has Mr. Walker on it, so I'll see what I can find out, especially knowing that she told you it was Henry, and this is the only place I've seen Henry, but I didn't know that he was still Henry, because he's not a junior or a second or third or something like that. But that doesn't,
But wasn't Mr. Walker also related to Gina's people?
I don't know, but it would be easy to find out. Yeah,
I-
he might have been.
I-
But
Because,
I see
yeah.
Gina. Yeah, that's another point you have
the,
there, yeah.
the Dunnings.
Dunning, absolutely. Now, he was, yeah.
He was related to the
the Dunning
Dunnings.
family?
Yes.
Okay. That helps me, because I can put that in as, a relative's name is Dunning, and see if that can't help me narrow that down. That's great. Thank you. All right, so we're getting there, and I'll see if I can't get more information from this person. When the other part of this will be gathering all the photos, using the photo consent form of the ones that the group thinks should be included on the sign, and then getting getting both the words and the photos together. So I thought,
And even photos that may not be useful or utilized in the sign, it would be nice, like we talked about, having a QR code that would go back to our website possibly to see additional photos that, that you can't put every photo in there.
you can't, but I think it also might be a nice place for people who knew Mr. Walker, who could sign in and say memories of Mr. Walker, and, or of that time, and to be able to express their,
Kind of like a tribute page.
yeah, like in an obituary page where there'd be tributes, but something like that where people could express their emotion, because that's such an important part of
Or
this.
even a
But-
memory.
Yes, but not for the sign, but it needs to be there. So that's just an idea. I didn't know how possible that is, but
Very, it's easily.
easy when you know how. Put it that way.
Yep.
So, all right, great. So I'll continue doing that if that's helpful.
Absolutely.
I'll follow up with Ancestry and see. And just so, for someone named John H. Walker, there are 1,126,504 references, and that's 56,000 pages of references. So I need help winnowing it down. So the Dunning will be great, the Henry will be great, and I'll put in Maddie Trawick as his mother and see what that does, and to get it to something I mean, I've probably looked at 70 pages.
Out of a million.
Out of a
You
million.
got a long way to go.
I know, and they change every day, because as soon as somebody puts something in, it changes. So, anyway, I'm on
And
it.
then if there's any additional, because we know we might have to dig in records and archives and stuff, so I know there's just a humongous effort, but I'm just wondering what might be out there. You've done a lot of research when it comes to properties and
Right.
things of that nature already
These,
that was associated with his name. I would love to see the actual whatever for when he put the restaurant on the beach, if there was any documentation available and how that all came into being, because that is just,
It's huge.
yeah.
it is huge, and I've been looking, and they don't keep, the state nor the county keep any kind of record as far as business licenses or anything, because I've called, and they're like, why do you want that? And so I've run into dead ends with that. I'm not quite sure how I can find it out, but I'll keep searching.
I'm wondering also, because I know that the people that were researching the Nassau School, they have ways to find stuff. And they found a lot of different little newspaper clippings of different announcements from the Nassau Colored School. And I'm wondering if they would be a great resource.
Okay.
I have the name of the lady that was, I have it at home.
Okay, and I'll get on that. And then the other thing, I've just run out anything that was John H. Walker. These are pages and pages of deeds that he is on. And then this is the list of he and his wife Alma, and it's even bigger. And these were, he helped people get mortgages, and so on. So it's huge. It's not a small presence by any means. And that's in Recorder of Deeds.
And it tells you the towns and where they were.
It tells you the parcel, the people. He and Mr. Pettyjohn were, Burl Pettyjohn were partners, and it tells you the year. You can go look up the actual tax records, deeds, mortgages, satisfactions, right-of-ways, easements, all the names. The John C. Walker Development Corporation is not quite him, but there are, John and Alma, Sussex Trust. There are a lot of clues
Yeah.
that, you can see as you go through them and read them. So, yeah, it was all over the county, and actually into Kent County, too. So I'll keep working on that. I'll contact the Historical Society to see if they can't help me kind of get over the hump of narrowing it down. And I'll send another email to Chelsea Jackson and see what I can do to get more of that, so that we can get more facts and data, fill out the picture of who he was, and also the building permits. They're probably in the fireproof vault. Let's see if I have time to take a day off and go in the vault.
Where is that at?
In here.
Oh.
They're probably here.
Oh.
And I had mentioned I could help you with that, Kay, so I have time.
Great. I will take you up on that. Thank you.
Anything else? Wonderful, good information. So we are at F, Johnnie Walker / Savannah Beach update, possible action. Anything about the beach recently?
Beach is doing, I think, very well. It's wintering very well. There was the biggest pile of snow I ever saw there, and
Yep. It was there not long ago.
it's still sort of there.
It
a
still
little
is?
bit,
Okay.
yes. And
Not much.
Not much,
Not
but it
much.
was just beyond.
It was like 30 feet high.
Yes,
easily.
it was astounding. It blotted out the sun
Yeah.
on some days. So I think, but the beach itself, I think, is surviving the winter very nicely. And I did report to Julia that the sign as you're going in had been damaged. I think that was a vandalism thing. That was not a snowplow thing. Some of the parking blocks were disturbed by the plow, which is not surprising. And once that the winter's done, I'm guessing we can get those reseeded and organized, and that would be good.
So when you say sign vandalized, what do you mean?
The signpost, as you're turning into Johnnie Walker Beach, that Johnnie Walker sign is on, that post is now leaning. And I will say that there is a for sale sign of one of the units in the apartment building, and that sign has been vandalized repeatedly. There's a sign at the building itself that has been destroyed more than once. So I suspect that's all part and parcel of the same expression of
I think it was also
hostility.
the stop sign as well, because the stop
Yeah.
sign was also,
Bent.
when I went over there.
Yeah, it was a
I
mess.
think it's the wind?
No,
Not like this, no.
no,
Okay.
because the wind would be coming this way, and this was this way, and then,
I mean, unless somebody hit it.
well, I think they hit it with their car in an attempt to hit the real estate sign. That's my guess. Because that real estate sign has taken a beating. On Savannah Beach, there was one bench has been vandalized, but it's an old bench, but still, it's been vandalized, it's expensive. And the one light standard, which did not have a light pole on it and was leaning, is now flat. And we'd already talked about having that dealt with.
I think it's worth noting, just as an information, it has been reported from our city manager and others that there has been an increase in graffiti and other issues, like similar issues in our public parks recently. Doesn't appear like there's an organized effort, but it's been noted, and nobody, I'm sure our police are aware as well, but there has been, you've heard the same, right?
Yes, there has been.
Yeah.
And the PD are aware.
Yeah.
And they'll do a great job, and if, if that's all there is, that will be great. Hopefully it's stopped, but just in case anybody's wondering, I've already,
They're aware
Reported
of that
it.
these things are starting to, happen in more frequency, so.
excellent. They always do a great job for us, so. But otherwise, I think the beach is doing very well over the winter.
Good.
The storms haven't, there's been some sand in the parking lot, but not much. So, it's good. So it's all good.
All right, so the photo consent form, we did have that, but it has not had an opportunity to have feedback from
Sure.
the attorney at this point. So you all have seen it, or at least it's been attached. And Daryl worked on that, and we appreciate that, and it's still in review at this point. So no action can be taken on it until we hear back from the lawyer.
Yes, I sent him, we had a one-word change, and then Mr. Daisy had more comprehensive changes, so I sent all of that to Alex and called and spoke to him about, what our purpose was. And so I'm hoping he can get that back to us, so then when we hear back from the grant, and we get the grant, and then we can really start envisioning the sign and moving forward.
So, in the meantime, I guess we can just start viewing the loads of pictures we may have and see if there's something that, we'll just have to gather them all together, and if some have to be adjusted or, restored?
Daryl had presented a quote for 20 photographs to be restored,
Okay, great.
Excellent.
so, and obviously not all of them have to go onto the kiosk. I think 20 would probably even be too many, but figuring out what you want on there.
And even so, because the commissions, that's part of, our budget to do some restoration and for historic value, and also for the presentation that Daryl has even at Juneteenth. So the restoration piece is always going to be ongoing, I believe, as far as the commission's budget. So,
Well, I think the other thing is, when it comes time to choose the photos, is figuring out what would go on the sign and what could go on the website using the QR code to jump. And, what are the photos that show the point of the sign, and then what are fun or interesting, but are good to have on the website, but not on the sign itself. So we'll have to, I think, sort of lay them all out, figure out some of the text, and then what really visually enhances the words. So even if you don't have time to read it, if you're looking at the pictures, you get it. So that'll be an interesting task.
anything else?
The only thing I had was, we probably have close to 20 pictures of the beach, at least, that I actually put in a folder that I certainly could easily share with the team at some point, and we can all talk about it. And if there's some additional ones, Trina, what I did was I went through the Memories of Lewes pages, pulled pictures out of there, noting that sometimes they were owned by people we needed to get permissions from, as well as some stuff you recently sent from Miss Kitty and some other things. I tried to put as much stuff as I know together so that at some point we can evaluate them and see which pictures make the most sense to go on the sign.
Perfect. And our website goes about 7 years back.
Yeah, there's quite a few photos. I mean,
Great.
I'm guessing, but again, some are more appropriate than others. and,
Absolutely.
we do have to get permissions, but quite a few of them. When I say few, it's dozens, not hundreds, by the way. Dozens,
Right,
not
right.
hundreds. So it's doable to pick from them.
Wonderful. All right. We are at G, other or public comments, questions. And all we have is Daryl online. And we have Miss Cynthia. Anything in addition, Cynthia, that you'd like to add to this evening?
I did not, thank you. One question that I did have was about the sign, the Johnnie Walker sign as you enter into the parking lot. How does that get fixed? Does someone put in a requisition or something, or
The
just
sign?
curious to know?
The sign itself is good. It wasn't
Okay.
touched, it's just the pole that it's attached to
Okay,
is
I've
leaning in.
already emailed maintenance.
okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
when Kate told me about it on Monday or Sunday, I emailed
Thank you so
maintenance.
much.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to know the process, thanks.
Yep. Anytime you ever see any issues, just give me a call or an email.
I call her at all hours. I'm sure she
I
appreciates.
should just give you my cell phone number.
I see, Sunday?
Yeah.
I go there every day, so I report what I see. I was like, I know you're off on Monday, Bob.
Well, you all know I text at 2 and 3 in the morning.
Your
or
emails come
email
through
in
at
the
4
morning.
a.m.
So, you know.
Hear the email go off at 4. I'm like, oh, Trina must be up.
That's true. So our next meeting, you have a calendar for
Yeah,
us?
Thursday, March 20th.
We may know about the grant by then.
We may. Fingers crossed.
Either way, we're going to continue to move forward either way. So,
Yeah, great.
so I think we are at H, adjournment. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
So moved.
Yeah.
A second? To adjourn? Meeting adjourned. Motion carried.